Our first major update to Need for Speed Unbound is here, and with thanks to EA for sponsoring this video, I also got the chance to play the Volume 2 update early with a bunch of other creators. There are loads of new features added which made online feel somewhat refreshed, as well as some much needed patches which I'll dive into later in the video. Starting with easily the biggest part of Volume 2 is that cops are now a feature in Lakeshore Online. They play pretty much the same as single player using the heat level system from 1 to 5, different units and so on. But now you get the choice to take them on by yourself or team up with others to earn some extra cash. The way you can team up with other players is very straightforward. All you've got to do is simply engage with one of the cop cars chasing a player, and it will pop up saying that you're assisting them. Once that player evades, depending on their heat level, you'll also be awarded some extra cash. You can find cops driving around in the open world as usual, and they'll only enter pursuit if you crash into them, so you don't have to worry about having to deal with them all the time. Another good thing to note is that once you escape a pursuit, your heat level will automatically reset in free roam, meaning if you want to, you can go straight back into another chase without visiting the safe house. I did find that, like in single player, cop chases are pretty easy, even at heat level 5, although on the most part I did use an S to an S plus car, which obviously is going to make that a lot easier, but if you want to give yourself somewhat of a challenge, try using a lower class like A or even B. The payout for doing these pursuits isn't actually too much, but something I would change in a future update or patch is the reward for taking out a police unit. Regardless to what level they are, you'll get paid $200 a time, but to be honest, if you're going to take out something like an enforcer or a SWAT unit, I think you should get paid a lot more than the $200. Either way, cops are a great addition to multiplayer, especially when you get to take them out with others. A bunch of new race events, playlists, challenges and activities have also been added with Volume 2, including a refresh to the existing playlists. 15 new challenges themed around new features which award cash, driving effects, poses and even a car. 40 new daily challenges have also been added, giving you 3 a day to complete, awarding you XP and a total of 60k cash. These challenges are an easy way to earn money, so definitely worth completing them. As for the events, there are 4 new endurance events, 2 new rumble playlists and 2 new race playlists. The endurance ones consist of 1 race event due to the length of them, but it still makes these playlists faster, so if you're wanting to grind cash, these are an easy way to do so. Rumble playlists are new to Lakeshore Online, which will feature 3 different takeover events. These are extremely fun, especially with a lot of players, as the courses are pretty compact, so I'd definitely say it's worth giving them a go. One thing I will let you in on is obviously the takeover events also used a lot of off-road, so make sure that you've got an off-road class car set up just in case you get those. Then lastly, a brand new activity has been added to single player and multiplayer, which are the new hot laps. 30 of these can be found around the map, awarding you cash for completing them. There are also challenges for the amount of stars that you earn, awarding you driving effects, poses and another exclusive car. Speaking of cars, there are 3 newly added with this update. First is the 2021 Lotus Emira Balmain Edition, a custom-made version of the base car with an exclusive design themed around Balmain, which is a French luxury fashion brand. This car originally featured within the main campaign that one of the AI racers drove, but was then swapped out for the Porsche 718 Spider. To unlock this car for yourself, you'll need to win any 3 playlists using a Lotus. Hopefully a lot of you won the Siege back in single player, and if you did, that will also transfer to your multiplayer garage, so that will definitely come in handy if you want to earn this. Once you complete the challenge, you're then gifted this car into your online garage for free. Next is another multiplayer exclusive, being the 1971 Nissan Fairlady 240ZG. What's special about this one is it's actually the awesome custom build that Waru drives in the story mode. Even before the release of Need for Speed Unbound, a lot of players wanted to get their hands on this car, but it wasn't possible as it's a one-of-one owned by an AI racer. With this update, you can use it in multiplayer, but just like the legendary M3 GTR, you'll need to be an EA Play member. However, if you do have EA Play, this car will be gifted into your garage once you load up Lakeshore Online. The third car, described as the ultimate luxury, is actually the 2021 Mercedes Maybach S 680. This car can be unlocked in both single and multiplayer by earning a total of 30 stars in the new hot lap activity. You will have to buy this car, however, once you've unlocked it. costing 230k, but thankfully it has plenty of upgrade options for performance and visuals, including bumper deletes. I haven't used this car too much, but with the right upgrades, it's apparently really strong in S-Class. Keys to the Map DLC, which we've seen feature in older Need for Speed games, has made a return from Unbound, and is available as a DLC to purchase from the store page. With this, you'll unlock the locations of all 260 collectibles, which are 100 bears, 80 street art and 80 billboards, as well as all 160 activity locations. And lastly, there are a ton of bug fixes and changes that have been made alongside this feature update, to the point where I'll only be listing off a handful of them, as there really are that many. Some of the top bug fixes are shown on screen now, fixing a lot of issues that players have been experiencing since launch. If you want to take a quick look, by all means pause the video, as it's now time to move on to the top changes. The multiplayer playlists now have a larger cash payout, making you feel rewarded for grinding out races. Even if you finish last in an 8-player playlist, you'll still earn some decent money. You're now able to switch between cars in between multiplayer race events, which is actually a really nice option to have. They've also made changes to the UI with multiple improvements throughout the game. One of them that you'll notice very often is if you open up the map and look in the top right corner, you can actually see how many players you've got in the session, as well as what they're up to. They've improved the way that collisions are handled, so if you get into a crash, sometimes they won't be as severe, and you can now also select a vehicle tag per vehicle instead of using one overall. I'll leave a link to the full list of patch notes down below if you wish to look for yourselves. Overall, the Volume 2 update to Need for Speed Unbound is actually pretty decent and a step in the right direction for the game. Hopefully in the future they look to increasing the party size, as it's still one of the most requested features. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on this update, and I'll catch you in my next video. Peace.